Hey guys, I want to do a quick video on how to propagate your banana plant, separate the pups. Okay, what we have here is just a basic dwarf Cavendish, but no matter what your plant is, it's going to be basically the same. This one, as you can see, is in a pot. I'm going to do these two pups off the side here, one in one way and one in the other. Everybody is going to have a plant in a different situation. A lot of these plants, if you're in the tropical area that can grow these outdoors, you're probably going to have these maybe in the ground. You're not going to be able to do it the optional way that I'm going to show in a second. But the one thing you want to keep in mind, no matter how you do it, is that this plant has, I've heard it termed different ways, but I call it a bulb. And you want to make sure that bulb down at the base where it's connected to the mother plant is cut off and kept intact as much as possible. Okay? There are special tools for doing this. I don't have one. I don't think the average person has one. So unless you have a farm, banana farm, you probably don't have one. But I'm going to suggest what I use is a serrated knife, okay? Long enough to reach down past. Again, you want the whole thing, so try to use the longest knife you have, okay? This is the longest I was allowed to use, so. All right. Try to make sure you can see everything I'm doing here. For this first one, you're just going to want to, and don't be in a rush here, guys, because it's definitely something you want to be careful about. You're going to want to rather cut towards the parent plant as opposed to away from it. They're pretty tight, so there's not much space between. You want to remember that that little baby plant is pretty well down in there, and where it connects, pretty long. Again, I'm showing you this way now because a lot of you might be having to do this while it's in the ground as opposed to the second option. And also, this plant's going to have roots of its own, okay? Do it when it helps when it's dry. I've seen it done so many times, guys. Some people are less delicate than I am about it. I'm just worried that I'm going to hurt the bulb. I want to get it in as intact state as possible. If you still feel resistance, don't pull, because you'll ruin it. Okay, you pull up the stalk, but you'll leave the bulb down there. Because when it's done, when it's freed up from the parent plant, it's going to come up quite a bit easier. It's free. Now, okay, so if you've got this in the ground, you're going to be able to do what I can't do while it's in the pot. You're going to be able to take the shovel and dig around it, okay, and separate it from the soil. I can't do that because it's in the pot. So this is where I'm going to do it differently than from this point than what you would do if you had it in the ground. I'm going to go ahead and free it out of the pot, which is what we do anyways for the rest of the people that have them in the pots. You can see all these roots, okay? They make it pretty impossible to separate it on its own. But that's it, guys. Okay? So this is the pup. This is the second parent. I'm going to lay this to the side here. Now, for those of you that have it in a pot situation, just take it out of the pot. Makes it a lot easier. There's two here. don't know if you can see this little tiny one right here. I'm aiming for this one, but I'll probably end up cutting that one off. If I can spare it, I won't take it off because I'd rather save it, give it a little more time to grow before I separate it. Anyways, we want to cut really close, guys. I know I don't have the best lighting here. Sun's going down, but I want to get it pretty right up against, not just pretty close, but right up against the mother plant. Push down and start sawing. Okay, and then, you know, if you can cut it at a curve, it's even better because it means you're getting more of that pop off. And don't pull if you can. Don't pull out by the plant, but actually put your fingers down there and try to press it apart away from the plant. If you feel resistance, go ahead and cut more. You're pretty much just going to be cutting away the roots right now at this point, once you know you're separated. Okay. Alright guys, can you see what I'm doing here? Okay. And here's this. I'm going to put it back in the pot. And I'm going to repot it anyways, but for this video I'll show you the rest here. Stay focused on these guys. From this point, what you're going to want to do is treat it like, if you're familiar with propagating, treat it like you would any other plant that you just dug up. Pull off a few of the leaves, okay? But guys, we got a ton of roots, so I'm not going to pull off any more of this. Okay, the other thing you're going to learn, if you watch a lot of YouTube like me, but I've done this myself, so I'm not just showing you. Don't you love the how-to videos when they've never done it themselves before? This isn't the case here. I'm going to show you why here in a second. What you want to do is, instead of just setting this down in the pot, okay, as it is, this point right here, special pointer here, where it's been separated, this fresh stuff is susceptible to rot, okay? So some people will just plant it as is, and they have good success. Some people will go the clear opposite, to the extent of cutting off all the roots, cutting off almost all the leaves, and laying it flat out in the, well, in the sun or in the shade. The reason why is they want this this cut section to heal over before they plant it. Well, I don't have the heart to do that, okay? I'm an as instant gratification as I can get kind of person. So I'm like, man, I'm not gonna get rid of all these roots and all these leaves. They're still good. So how can I do this without cutting away all the stuff, but yet still maintaining the plant and its safety, letting this to heal over before it gets buried? So that's what I developed. I don't know. This is the way I do it, guys. You take the plant and you plant it in on its side, okay, with this heel or this cut section exposed up above the soil, allowing the rest of the roots to be down under the soil to still absorb moisture and nutrients, allowing the plant to still be growing and healthy while this section heals. What I want to show you is where I've done that before. I'll get this in right up close here. You can see that section right here, guys. Almost looks like dirt, doesn't it? This has been less than, just over a week ago, I planted this banana tree pup in this pot. And you can see this section here is where it was cut off. And it's already healed up. It doesn't take long, is my point. And it works. So you get the best of both worlds. You get a healthy plant that hasn't been stripped away and stripped down to nothing. But you also get the safety factor of letting this heal over before you plant it. So here's a quick how-to on potting, because I want to keep this short. your soil mix. You can look at my other videos on the soil mix. This is just topsoil and potting soil, or compost, potting soil, and sand, okay? One part of each. It's in here. When you're doing this, guys, trying to see if you can see what I'm doing. Try to keep that that cut section clean. Try not to put too much dirt on it, but it's okay if you do, because we can just spray it off. I always use my fingers when I'm getting down in there to try to poke the soil in and around the roots, so there's not too much gap and space. And guys, when you're watching YouTube, it's great to take somebody at their word, but it's even better to watch somebody else's videos. So watch as many videos on this as you can. I know the other, video makers or creators will appreciate that, but it's good for you, because it'll allow you to see different ways to do something before you have to take the time and effort to go about it yourself. And then you can approach it your own way. You can take from this one, take from that one, and put them all together and get an approach that you like best or you feel the most comfortable with. But the one thing you can walk away from watching this video is, it works, okay? So the safety, the safety aspect of allowing the cut to heal over first. Any of you guys that have propagated your own succulents know what I'm talking about. It does work, and it does matter. It does help to let it heal before you go and plant it. The thing with banana plants is, different from a succulent, you can't just lay the banana plant down without cutting away all the growth, okay? A succulent, you can, because it stores its moisture so well. Bananas, they hold so much moisture. They're like, I don't know how, a huge percent of water anyways. So in order for this little thing to live, it's got to be stripped away of all of its moisture losing surfaces, which is the leaves. I don't like to go that route. Go this route, guys. It'll save you the time, it'll save you the plant, and you'll be happier. It doesn't take any time at all. Now, once it heals over, all you gotta do is pull it up, okay? Pull it up out of here, okay? Or don't pull it up at all, just put some new soil over it. It doesn't matter, it's whatever you want to do. Guys, once you have this planted here, you're going to want to brush this section off, okay? I have a sprayer. It's up there at my green room. But just take a mister, a sprayer, any kind of sprayer. Spray this section off to get as much of that moisture, or as much of the dirt away, and you're good to go. You're good to go. You'll have a brand new banana plant right here. As you can see, guys, it's going to turn up straight on its own. I'm going to go ahead and plant that a little deeper here whenever we're done with the video. But point I meant to make here is you can actually leave it like this if you want, or you can go ahead and replant it when you're done. All right, guys, thanks for your patience. Appreciate you watching. If you liked it, if you enjoyed the video, hit the thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe. Appreciate you.